Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm your host, Danny Osmond. If you love podcasts, if you are passionate about your business, if you want to create and grow a podcast that will connect you with your ideal customers, and you want access to education, to resources, and to other amazing business leaders and podcasters who can help you do it better every single day, then this is the podcast for you. I have a big secret for you. You do not have to struggle for years to create a profitable and purposeful podcast that you actually enjoy showing up for each and every episode. It takes three things to create relatively fast results: clarity, focus, and intentional actions. These are the three things I continue to provide support and accountability for my former Podcast Supercharger students and current clients, and it's work that energizes me and gives them accountability, guidance, and strategy. If you're ready to give up the struggle and create an amazing podcast in the year ahead, then apply today for my live Podcast Supercharger program. From February through March 2019, I'm working deeply with just a handful of driven, passionate, and determined business leaders and entrepreneurs who are ready to start a great podcast and finally see the results they know they deserve. As of right now, just 6 more spots remain. Find out more about my Podcast Supercharger sessions and apply today at dannyosmond.com/podcastsupercharger. P.S. I know you have a big why, and I know you have the fuel inside of you to make the shift from just getting by to truly having the business of your dreams. And that's why I'm here to support you in my Podcast Supercharger program. I can't wait to hear from you. dannyosmond.com/podcastsupercharger. Depending where you are in the development of your business, you may or may not have thought of giving to charity. On the one hand, when we're just starting out, we may be struggling just to get by, much less give to others. We may think, someday, when I'm doing very well, then I'll start giving. On the other hand, when we're doing very well, we tend to hold on to our money, finding it difficult to let go of what we've worked hard to obtain. Whatever our situation, there will always be arguments against giving to charity. Interestingly, we discover that the poor tend to be more charitable than the rich. Such was the finding of Paul Piff, a psychology researcher at the University of California, Berkley, in a study he conducted in 2010. Obviously, the wealthy have the capacity to give more total dollars, but those who have little to begin with are inclined to give away a greater percentage of what they possess. What does that study and giving to charity have to do with us? Let me offer you 7 great reasons to give to charity. By giving, we express love and kindness toward others. You've probably heard the saying, it's better to give than to receive. It's true. We experience a tremendous sense of joy when we give to others. It's fun to meet someone else's need and taste the fruit of our generosity. We all desire to be more loving. Giving to charity is a great practical way to express our love for others. Number 2, giving keeps us humble. What I mean by this is that when we recognize others' great needs, we realize how fortunate we are. When we're successful, it's too easy to get proud and forget where we once were. Yes, we may have worked hard to get where we are, but typically a lot of other people and circumstances had a hand in helping us achieve our current success. Giving helps us keep that reality in perspective and stay balanced. When we give, we're reminded how fortunate we are. Number 3. By giving, we promote worthy causes. Of course, this is one of the primary reasons we give. Our gifts might help drill a well to provide fresh drinking water for a village in Africa, or help a homeless family get on their feet again, or adopt an orphan in a foreign land, giving them hope for the future. The key here is to give to a charity that tugs at your heart and you feel passionate about. Number 4, when we give, we set a good example for others. We want to be careful here. We don't want to brag or flaunt our giving before others. But even when we give quietly, others take notice. If we have a family, our children catch the vision of what we're doing and why we're doing it. We can even engage them in the fun. And sometimes our giving can go beyond a check, and we can get involved in some feet-on-the-ground way to help further the cause that we're supporting. Our example can profoundly impact others for good. Number 5, giving builds community. This principle can be expressed in so many different ways. You've no doubt heard the phrase, no one is an island. We're all connected to and somehow dependent on others in a good way. We're all in this together. We're all a part of something much bigger than ourselves. We want to find ways to pay it forward. No matter how we express it, when we give, we're showing kinship with our fellow human beings and helping build a better village. Number 6, when we give, we show that money doesn't own us. There's a huge difference between being a slave to money or using money to serve us. You can tell when someone is a slave to money. It's an ugly state of affairs. Money owns them. They'll do anything for money. Money trumps their relationships, ethics, values, you name it. Being a slave to money creates greed, avarice, self-centeredness, and a host of other evils. But when we give gladly, we show money who's boss. We're not its slave. Money does not own us. And finally, number 7, giving helps our bottom line. Though this might be the first reason that many choose to give, I saved it for last. Giving to a recognized charity does provide us with a tax break, but as we've seen, there are plenty of more noble reasons to give. At the same time, if the IRS is willing to reward us for doing what we wanted to do anyway, who's to stop them? If you're not already giving to a charitable organization or needy individual, do some research. Consider what lights your fire. What are you passionate about? If you're not sure where to start, talk to someone you know who gives to charity and ask their advice. Also, when you give, don't give grudgingly or miserly. Give generously with joy. Finally, in my experience, when we decide to do something good like this and we follow through, inevitably we will be tested. Perhaps right after you write that check, an unexpected bill comes in, or someone asks for a refund, or the car breaks down. I warned you, so don't be surprised. The question is, how will you respond? So, think of giving as a long-term investment rather than a short-term one. Keep giving and watch the dividends of your giving grow. So there you have it. If you're ready to make a real change in your business in 2019, start today by, first of all, subscribing to So You Want to Podcast on the Apple Podcast app or iTunes or Stitcher or Android or Google Play or wherever you listen. Number 2, please write a 5-star rating and review for the podcast. And number 3, please share it with a friend, a colleague, or a coworker who you think would enjoy our episodes. I hope everyone has had a great holiday week, and I wish you all a happy new year in 2019. Today's show was brought to you by ConvertKit, the only email marketing system you'll ever need. After 5 years with the email marketing provider that everyone starts out with, you know who I'm talking about, I was desperately searching for one that was simple, easy to manage, and affordable. ConvertKit easily stood out above the rest, and I've been ridiculously happy with them ever since I made the switch. Emailing my community and creating automation series for special resources has never been so simple. Whether you're ready to start your first email marketing setup or you're searching for a new provider, I highly recommend ConvertKit. Go check them out and other resources that I recommend at dannyosment.com/resources. That's dannyosment.com/resources.